Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. This is Writing with William, essentially, and this channel is basically going to be dedicated to writing. So how to get better at writing, how to get started, how to make money from writing, how to get clients, where to find clients, how to retain them, and how to scale your business, because trust me, these are all very possible things. Now, the topic of this video is very specific. So it's about how to make money from writing, specifically how to hit that $10,000 mark. Now, I think this is a very underrated topic when it comes to writing, because when you tell someone, oh, I want to do some writing, they don't associate that with making money. They just think you're a starving artist sitting in a coffee shop, spending £10 on coffees and then not actually making any money from writing and living in squalor. It doesn't have to be that way, that's for sure. So if you follow these steps, if you know the steps, and if you follow them, if you implement them correctly, it's absolutely possible to make money from writing. I did it part-time, so this video is really dedicated to people who aren't full-time writers yet. Maybe they want to be, and maybe they want to learn how to make money from writing, and I'm going to show you how. All you have to do is follow the steps, which I'm going to lay out for you. And remember this, because this is the most important point. When you hit these various milestones that I'm about to lay out to you, special things happen at each milestone. No one told me about this. I just learned by going through the steps, hitting those milestones, and having more and more success as I stuck with it and as I persisted. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's learn how to make $10,000 from writing. Step number one, start an Upwork account. Now, what is Upwork? Upwork is a freelancer platform. It essentially connects freelancers like me or like you, people with a skill, and it helps them to commoditize it, to connect with employers, not just in your geographical area, but also around the world. I worked with clients recently in the Middle East, in Singapore. I've also worked with clients in the UK as well, but Upwork really has global reach. So if you want to make money from writing, then the best way to do that, especially if you're a native English speaker or if you have a very good command of the English language, is to go on Upwork, because you'll find lots of clients who want to work with you. Now, firstly, you're going to have to get a portfolio of work. This doesn't have to be paid work. For me, I didn't use paid work in my portfolio. I simply had acquired or accumulated series of writing pieces that I'd done over the years, blogs, articles, academic essays, whatever it may be. Whatever you've done where you put pen to paper, so to speak, and you've got that portfolio of work, submit that onto Upwork, and when you apply for jobs, then you can share your portfolio with them. All employers or prospective clients want to see is a track record whereby you have written before, you can write for them, and you'll do it well. So get that portfolio together, then buy some connects. Connects are essentially points or credits. It's a way you apply for other jobs on Upwork, and they do cost a little bit of money. It has gotten slightly more expensive than it was when I started on Upwork. However, it's very, very worth it. You can get 100 connects, and with those 100 connects, you can apply for 4 or maybe 5 jobs. So get those connects in after you've established your portfolio, and next, start applying for jobs. I want you to apply for jobs every single day. This is very, very important. Even if it's just 1 job a day, maybe 2, that's ideal, maybe more, that's perfect. But just when you're getting started, understand how Upwork works, understand how to put together a good proposal, and then start applying for work. So in my opinion, it's the most reliable way to meet clients all around the world. It's the quickest way to get started. So after this video, start that account on Upwork. Don't delay, do it today. Now, let's get into the next step. Step number 2, accept the work. Now, this is quite important. So when you first start out, you're going to end up doing jobs which seem a bit weird, jobs which you're definitely massively underpaid for. They're going to take a bit of time, and you're not going to be paid very much for that work. But this is really, really important that you accept the work. It's not about the money at this point. It's simply about building a successful track record of past clients. And this brings me to the next point of the same step, step number 2. Make it good. You need all your work to be of an outstanding quality. Make it a high standard. It doesn't matter if you're paid $5, $500, $5,000. You need to make all your work really, really good. So you can't just say to yourself, oh, I've only been paid $20 for this, so I'm just gonna do what I can, but not work that hard. You've got to make it really, really good. Get that 5-star feedback. It's essential. At this point when you're starting out, you're not going to make loads and loads of money, but you are going to start to build your clientele, your customer base, your track record of success. And this is when you get to the next stage, which is really important. But firstly, you do need to start small, start with those smaller jobs and get things going, get that ball moving. You won't regret it. Step number 3, get to $1,000. Now, what happens when you get to $1,000? At this point, you've applied for maybe a couple of dozen jobs, maybe more. You've started with maybe $20 jobs, $50 jobs, $100 jobs, and then you've got that 1 or 2 jobs that they paid you more than you've ever been paid before, and you've gotten to that $1,000. What happens next? Well, I'll tell you something very interesting, which I didn't anticipate from being on Upwork. At this point, when you reach $1,000 and you've got a successful track record, you've got good feedback, clients will find you. They will come to you. The momentum at this point really starts building, and instead of applying for jobs which most of the time you never hear back from clients, you spend a long time on a proposal, you submit it to a client on Upwork, most of the time they just don't respond. Fine. They get a lot of proposals. Fine. You weren't selected. That's not on you. They probably didn't even see your proposal. All good, no sweat. Don't worry about it. But when you get to the $1,000 mark, you'll find that clients will start to come to you. Then you accept the interview, you apply for the job, you start communicating, you are far more likely to land these jobs. And this gets your momentum building even quicker, gets you working on even more interesting jobs that you think, you know what, actually, I'd love to work on this. I'm so glad this client found me. So get to that $1,000 mark and you'll start to see really good things happening to you and your writing. Things will move a lot quicker. Let's get to the next stage. Now, in the previous step, we talked about getting to $1,000, and that's important because clients will find you. But at this point, when you get towards the $5,000 mark, you start to find another incredible hack when it comes to writing, and that's essentially the value of repeat customers. The easiest people to sell to are people you've already sold to. Clients you've worked with in one job, if they like you and you do well for them, remember we spoke about high standards across all your jobs. If they like you, they will likely work with you again. That's a fact. Most of the jobs whereby I've gotten to this $5,000 mark and beyond, that have been through repeat clients, customers who love your writing, they're used to working with you, you're reliable, they can trust you, you can trust them as well, because that's important. You need to be able to trust your clients, and therefore they're willing to work with you. Against that $5,000 mark, you can start to think about other niches. Now, at this point in time, maybe you just worked on blogs or articles, something like that, maybe Google ads, something shorter, something kind of short and snappy, whereby it's not long form content, it's short form content, and maybe you're in your comfort zone at this point. Well, when you get to $5,000, you can start to really experiment on Upwork. You can start to accept other jobs, other niches, other formats, things you didn't even know existed when it came to writing. Now, when I got to the $5,000 mark, I'd predominantly just done blogs and articles, things where, I wrote dozens of articles for this one property investment platform, which was great, slightly outside my comfort zone, but something I enjoyed doing. But when I got to the $5,000 mark, I started doing more corporate business profiles, something I never even thought was a thing, but turns out it really is. Build up the money. Longer writing means more money and bigger jobs. Bigger is always better when it comes to writing, in my opinion. And that would not have been possible unless I got to that $5,000 mark. So when you get to $5,000, you realize that, okay, you build a successful track record, clients who want to work with you repeatedly, and here's the next thing, you can start to charge more for your money. Your experience at this point is very, very valuable. And you're in more demand because, like we discussed, clients are trying to find you. So you can afford to turn down a job here or there. Jobs which would take away your time, would detract from your efforts, which could be better spent elsewhere. So you can start to charge more money for repeat customers who are finding you. Don't drop your standards. The clients come first, the customers come first, but just get to that $5,000 mark, because when you persist and make it, it's very, very worth it. Now, let's get to the next step. Finally, if you persisted, if you worked through all the steps, you started the Upwork account, you've accepted the work, you got to $1,000, you got to $5,000, finally just finish strong. Keep on doing what you are doing, because let me tell you personally, the amount of time it took me to get to $1,000 and the amount of time it took me to get to $5,000 was a fairly long time. But the amount of time it took me to get from $5,000 to $10,000 was less than half the time of both of those milestones combined. So once you get to the $5,000 mark, keep on going. Don't stop. You'll get to the $10,000 mark far quicker than you ever could have realized. And when you get to that point, use the money to change your life. $10,000 is a lot of money, and you can use that for whatever you want. You can use it to just go on a holiday, go away for a few weeks, and start to think about the skills you've acquired. $10,000 is a lot of money, but you could argue it's not life-changing money. It's not going to change your life forever. At some point that money will run out and you have to think about what you're going to do next. But lucky for you, you've been writing, and you've been writing consistently. You built up a good track record. You're highly successful. You're making money from your writing. You're charging more. You have clients and customers who have worked with you and they want to work with you again. You can do it all online, wherever you want in the world. And most importantly, you can do it again. And I recommend you do it again because it's very, very important. And at this point, start experimenting. You have a successful track record. You've earned 5 figures from writing. If, like me, you did it part-time, that's an incredible feat. You should be very, very proud of yourself. But you should also be thinking about the next thing. Where can I move with my writing next? Personally, I love long-form content. I love the methodical approach to taking 4,000 words, 5,000 words, 6,000 words, those sorts of jobs. That's the kind of thing that I enjoy. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to do ghostwriting. Maybe you want to go into corporate profiles, annual reports. Maybe you want to do something else completely different. Maybe you just want to do adverts, Google ads, that sort of thing. With that track record behind you on Upwork, I promise you can go into any branch of writing you want because you have the credibility behind you. So that's it. Those are all the steps. Let's recap. Start an Upwork account. 2, accept the work. 3, get to $1,000. 4, get to $5,000. And then 5, finish strong and get to $10,000. Now this video, it's not about how to write because I feel like writing just comes from experience. It just comes from writing every single day. Reading a lot, writing a lot, that's the only way to get better at it. It's the same with boxing or the gym or anything like that, any sort of sport. You get better at it by doing it. So that's the same with writing. Get started, get doing it. If you want videos about how to write, how to get better at writing, I can definitely share that with you. Comment below, like and subscribe, and let's go again. But come with me on this journey because it's going to be very fun, and I'm looking forward to the video where I do a $20,000 milestone update, and hopefully I'll have some more lessons I can share with you. And that's it. Any questions, let me know. I'm available. Talk to me. Cheers guys. Ciao.